Alright, we do, folks. Your boy Marks with 225 numbers after the name. A little tight Tuesday action over here. Little games that come down to limits of the wall to the wire. In this case, we're playing a little domination, I believe. Yeah, playing a little dom over here. On Flag over here is trying to put in that work. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get them, I was gonna say them achievements, but trying to get them contracts. You know what I'm saying? Plus, I haven't really put domination, I think, up on the damn channel, so I wanted to kind of put that game over there. Playing a lot of dom lately. Playing a lot of kill confirm. Kind of faded a little bit off on team deathmatch and other modes. You know, mainly due to contract stuff and mainly due just to experimenting in life and enjoying different modes in the game and whatnot. A lot to talk about this week, man. I mean, it's kind of crazy. Like, I literally posted a video last week, and this week there's already like so much more to talk about in the Call of Duty universe. Like, I was planning on only talking about like Operation Shamrock and how I felt about that. Instead, wow, like, has a whole world kind of flipped over here, man, and like the Call of Duty world, and not necessarily in good ways for some people. I'll give you my opinion on it. Let's open up with the big story this past week was the leaks coming out of a possible Modern Warfare 2 Remastered, but with the catch that was only campaign only. So it seemed to maybe retail for $20-25 over there. They got it listed on like Amazon. I want to say France or Australia or something like that. It's kind of like the leaks happened over there. And Charlie Intel kind of confirmed with a bunch of the people. Raven wasn't making it and all this stuff. But the big deal was that they were only talking about the campaign. No multiplayer. And people went crazy. You know, people just went completely bananas about like how ridiculous that was and how bad of an idea it is and how out of tune that is with the Call of Duty community. I don't necessarily share that opinion. I understand it. I think it's somewhat correct, but I think it's a little bit nearsighted. So I don't understand even why you would release a Modern Warfare 2 at any point this year. Like, I don't understand what that has to do with anything that's happening. You're right in Call of Duty World War II, which I think had very good short-term success and now has kind of died out because people just aren't playing it as much. And by playing it as much, I mean I still get in every like couple days. I'll go in, play, and I'll find matches pretty easily in any mode. So playing as much is relative. But yes, the player base and the talk about it is significantly less than it was back in the Black Ops 2 days, for example. I don't think the issue or the way to solve that is to re-release Modern Warfare 2 Remastered halfway through the year. You're already releasing Black Ops 4 in October, so you're already cutting off almost a month, or at least 3 weeks of the cycle of this game's length. Not including the beta and all that. I mean, the mindshare, the hype train for Black Ops 4 starts already in May. So, like, you're already reducing, like, this game's lifespan. We haven't even seen DLC 2 yet. And like we're already like knowing about Black Ops 4, for example. Now we're like diverting our attention to this Modern Warfare 2 Remastered. So I don't think the solution to people aren't playing World War 2 is, yo, let's re-release Modern Warfare 2 Remastered because people really like Modern Warfare 2 until they actually play Modern Warfare 2 again and realize that they don't necessarily like it, for example. Kind of the same theory I had going into Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered, where I didn't think too many people were going to play because they're going to realize and be like, oh yeah, I don't know about this one. But they really did a good job, and I think Infinite Warfare was so now what the community wanted that they hopped over there. I don't think that's the case in this case. World War II is what the community wanted. It's boots on the ground. It's visceral. It's a great game. Honestly, I really like World War II. If I were to like right now my Call of Duties, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 3, I guess. Yeah, I'd probably put World at War ahead of Black Ops 3. And Black Ops 3, and then I'd probably go Modern Warfare 3. And then I'll go World War 2. That's kind of how I rank them right now. So it's like top 5. Like, that's solid. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's pretty good. The thing with World War 2 to me is it's just not anything special. You know, Black Ops, that series has something special, something magical going on about it that just is video game-ish enough and good enough that it carries a lot of weight to its name, and I think that's why you've seen that success. World War II was just kind of like, we're making a boots-on-the-ground game. We just got to make sure we get this game right and not try to do anything too crazy. And they did that, and it's entertaining, and it's fun, and I enjoy getting on there and playing multiplayer every couple of nights. It's sensational. It doesn't have the mindshare that it has, but I'll tell you what, Black Ops 4 is going to come out, and in a couple months it won't have the mindshare that it has either. The mindshare isn't necessarily, hey, we need a new game, or we need a new mode, or we need a new Operation or we need to do anything. The mindshare is just that there's so many games now. There's so many different experiences, and you look at Fortnite right now that's like blowing up. Yes, it's blowing up, and it's free to play. Kind of, I don't know, I guess you could pay for the other mode, but whatever. In theory, you could play for free, and PUBG, you have to pay a little bit to get in, but, you know, that's experiences out there, too, and that Battle Royale kind of genre is out there, and I do anticipate Call of Duty stepping its feet in that stuff. But that's all momentary, too. Like, I promise you that a year from now, we're not going to be talking about Fortnite anymore. People will still be playing it. These games won't disappear, same way that Call of Duty World War II didn't disappear. There's still people playing it. But we will probably have moved on to something else at that point, you know what I'm saying? The times have just changed, and I think the internet culture at large has kind of changed, and our attention spans have gotten even shorter and shorter. And I'm not going to get too, like, philosophical here, but the reality is that, like, I feel like people nowadays, whereas maybe back in the day we used to spend like a minute reading something, now we spend like 15 seconds. You know, the Twitter age kind of changed us. You know, Black Ops 2 was kind of there at the beginning of this. So previously, the model of release a game, B-Stats game like Call of Duty, Black Ops 2, this was one of like our first few like forays into internet gaming still, you know. I mean, we'd already been playing like internet games online or whatever, but it was still relatively new, right? It was still pretty cool that you could just hook up an Ethernet cord to the back of your 360 and hop online and play with your friends. Like, that was still like a cool new experience. Now that's like standard. That's old at this point. Like, this is like, yeah, man, this is what we do. Like, of course. So that mystique is kind of gone, right? It's kind of eroded itself. It was also cool how they had structured it, right? You get a season pass, you get 4 DLC maps, keeping the life of your game for that whole thing. We had never seen nothing like that before. Previously, games would come out and that's it. Like, honestly, until like were the games updated in the Xbox One? I don't know. I believe. I guess or the Xbox One, you know, the OG Xbox One I'm talking about. But I think maybe the 360 was kind of that first cycle where we started seeing updates and patches coming to your game to either add content or help you out or fix stuff or whatever. Well, now that's like standard. I mean, it's very rare that you get a game that doesn't need a day one patch. It's quite like the opposite now. So that DLC model of like 4 maps released and all that jazz is old at this point. Like, it's not anything new. It's not even good anymore, probably. You know, when you look at Fortnite, that's adding stuff in almost at like a daily kind of pace. Well, how could you compete with that if you're Call of Duty? You know, and Call of Duty's just old. Like, it's old. Like, the people that play it are old heads on it at this point, man. Like, the kids will still play. Everybody will still buy it. It'll be cool for like that first like couple weeks, but then it dies out. And it's not a knock on the game. It's just how the world is built now. I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's just much more difficult to keep people's attention span. Especially with, you know, the negative moments that Call of Duty has had lately, which has kind of scarred some people. So that's where I think Call of Duty stands at. I think World War II is fine. I don't think there's any issue with it. I think what they should keep doing is investing resources into it, like Operation Shamrock, and kind of keep rolling from operation to another. Like, every week there should be something like along those lines. And I think they're starting to do even like a better job over there with offering contracts to get different guns and whatnot. That's pretty cool. Keep that kind of stuff up. Keep the community involved. Keep the community happy, and keep that goodwill coming. Like, that's what you gotta do, is just keep that goodwill happening all the way up to Black Ops 4. The Modern Warfare 2 Remastered stuff, I don't need it. Like, I'm not gonna buy it. Like, $25 for a campaign is kind of just stupid. Especially because I have the game. I can literally just play it if I want to. I'm sure it'll be cleaner and nicer, but I can literally just play it if I want to. Like, it's not that big of a deal. I probably also wouldn't buy it if they remastered it with the multiplayer. I'm good. And the only thing that would happen if they did remaster with the multiplayer is you'd cut your base in half of people that are playing, because some people will stay on World War II, and others will go on that. And then you'll release like Black Ops 4, and some will stay on these two and not go to Black Ops 4, and it's just like too much. Like you can't sustain that kind of stuff. And now, you know, the other games are backwards compatible and stuff, so you go out and like play those as well. You know, you gotta. I believe one thing that they should do strategically is kind of narrow your focus and narrow your player base to as much as possible. So push World War II until Black Ops 4 is out. That's like the game plan. I guess you could release a Modern Warfare Remastered or Modern Warfare 2 Remastered. I would honestly, if you're gonna do the campaigns, I'd do Modern Warfare 2 and 3, put those two together with like the Spec Ops stuff that was in those games for $25. At that point, you got me thinking. You're like, oh, hold up. Okay, 25 bucks for that for like a clean whatever experience, but 25 bucks for the Modern Warfare 2 campaign, which I think you could honestly beat in like 7 hours, 6 hours, depending on like, I don't know, maybe playing on veteran, it's a little bit longer. That's just a bad deal. Like, that's just like not. The math don't add up, right? Like, I'm paying 50 right now for Far Cry 5. You know, it came out today. Like, I'm not gonna pay half of that for a 6-hour campaign, dog. Like, what you talking about? Like, that's not a good look. 25 bucks for that in the multiplayer, I think is fine. I think that's a fair deal. And like I said, 25 bucks combined, Modern Warfare 2, 3. But what's the point of that? Like, honestly, like, what's the point of that? I'd almost prefer that, like, you, not for Black Ops 4, but like for like whatever the next one is that Infinity Ward's making, you give like a season pass, like owners get this remaster for free, like if you buy the season pass, whatever. Like that'd be like a cool bonus. But just release like standalone right now, it's just random. It doesn't even like fit with anything, and nah, I don't think it's a good look. I don't even know if it'll happen or whatnot. There was the rumor of the Call of Duty World at War remastered. I'd like to see what that means. I'm a little bit nervous that that would mean that Call of Duty Black Ops 4 is like all flying around crazy stuff, which I don't know if that's good or bad, honestly. So it'll be interesting, man. We'll see how it kind of plays out. I don't even anticipate necessarily this World War II to be, this World War II, this Modern Warfare 2 Remastered to be coming out. And I guess if the leaks are really, really true and it's single player, it's just a waste. Like, I mean, I don't think it affects anything in any way, except for it gives another knock on the community to go to the developers and be like, yo, like y'all guys don't get it. Like, what? Like, who the hell asked for this? Having said that though, Call of Duty pushes units. Maybe they release Modern Warfare 2 Remastered and it sells like hot fire. I don't know. I'm seeing crazy things happen for sure. It's all crazy things, man. I'm glad we turned this game around over here, man. Your boy Marcos. Deuces. That final kill.